Hey guys, tonight we're going to be focusing in on our air filters, and which are right here and right over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to replace those with ones that we've purchased online. And so let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to remove the old ones and just pop in the new ones. Simple as that. This is the second process of my filters that I've been doing. If you haven't seen the other video, please watch that. Behind the shop light here is the cabin microfilters right there and there, passenger side, driver's side. Watch that video, I've already done that. But we're going to focus in on driver's side air filter and passenger side air filter. And this is the E65 E66 BMW, and you have two air filters. And so let's get started. Alright, we're going to be looking at the driver's side. This is the driver's side air filter box right here. And as simple as we're going to unclip one and two hooks over here on the far side. Let's get a closer look. Okay, and here's the closer look of the two clips here. We have to undo this one and this one. Okay, so just get your finger behind there and pop that down. This one here, and just pull it back and they'll pop right off. And if you know what you're doing, you can actually lift this up here and just gently slide out the other one here. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to actually unscrew this here, pop this out, and get this whole housing out of the way so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. So I'm going to unscrew this here, and this is just tightens on my housing. You don't have to completely remove it, but you want it nice and loose. So it's kind of twirling back and forth there. Okay, after I loosen this here, as you're going to lift up on this side and kind of pull back a little bit as you take your other hand and kind of screw this right off. Make sure you're careful. There's little two tabs right here that kind of click underneath this little, let me get it nice and tight there. There we go. And there's the two tabs. This tab right here kind of goes in this little slot down here. And then you have one over here as well. And that goes into the little slot right there. So make sure those tabs are secure back in there when you put the new one in. But it's as simple as you got to maybe kind of give it a little twist here, and that comes right off. And then just grab it right here and then just pull it on off. And let's go ahead and we're just going to put that right there. Okay, and this is our filter right here. This is our air filter. This is the engine air filter right here. And you want to be careful not to get any grit inside this little hole there, so you might want to put a little rag over that hole while you're working on this, especially if you remove this and then you want to vacuum out any debris that's got in there. Okay, and the rag now covering up the engine hole there. Let's go ahead and remove, so you can just grab it by the edge here and you can pull it on up. And let's get that out of there. And there is our box there. See in the left corner there, you want to shop vac out. This is like some grit and gravel that I've got in here, so you'll be surprised what's actually in here, what has actually made its way in here. I'm going to take a damp cloth as well like I did last time, and I'm going to wipe down the interior of this too, but I'm also going to shop vac this grit out of there. Okay, and here is the old one, and look at how dirty this thing is. And I actually, a couple months back, actually more than a couple months, maybe 5 or 6 months back, I actually vacuumed this out, tapped it lightly on the ground to remove some of this dirt. So I mean, look at how much more has gotten in here. I don't think this has ever been changed on my car. I mean, look at this. Look at how dirty that is there. It's even bent in a shape there. And check this out, look at this. This is actually ripping on the edge right there. So the pros recommend you need to change this every single year annually. You know, you don't want to get crap in your engine, so I definitely recommend that as well. So again, that's the old one. This is what my damp rag, very, very lightly damp as well, not soaked, very lightly damped rag has gotten right here. This is how much grit was inside the box itself. And as you can see, my white marks here, it's not perfect. You can get really detailed if you want, but I just need to finish vacuuming some of the grit that's down here and right through here. Alright, it's a little too late to run my shop vac here, so I'm going to use my little dirt devil sucker thing here, and we're going to get that grit out of there. here's the new air filter for my car, and again it's the E65 E66. Mine is a 2006 E65. This is the part number for the MAN OEM filter. That is exactly the same as BMW sells. But again, check with your part number, and also look in the description links below. Again, like all my videos, I have the filters and some tools and parts in the description box, so check that out. But let's open this on up. Okay, old one on the left, new one on the right. And the reason I like MAN air filters is, check this out. You flip it over and they have a moisture protector. So added protection there, kind of a white filter on top of the paper filter. And that's added protection and for moisture. So moisture and wetness won't get on your filter there. So again, MAN filters are very good filters. Again, very good. So let's put it on in. Okay, now that we're all cleaned out and we have our new filter, let's go ahead and as simple as you just line it up in the little square, and you want to drop it straight in because you don't want to jam it in there because you don't want to ruin the paper. So again, it's flat all the way around the edges. You can kind of push it a little bit if you want, not too hard though, you don't want to crumple the paper. Alright, that is in. Now let's put our box right back on top. Okay, as we put our box back on here, we're going to just set that right over the slot. And what we have to do is we kind of have to jimmy that on a little bit and then hook our tabs in right here. Okay, so we just get that on nice and tight. Look over at my little tab right here. You want to get that in, that little side, and there's two of them. So you want to make sure you get both. Okay, there's my tabs there. And now we're back down. Okay, so now our pipe is nice and flush where it was again. Our tab over here and our tab underneath here are secure and latched into place right here. And our box is firmly pushed right here. And all we do now is we push down on it and flip that tab back up. And this tab right here again, we're going to push down on the box and then with our thumb push in. And now we're sealed all the way around. But we still have to tighten this. And I unscrewed this one just to get it loose. You don't really need to, but I did anyway. But I need to tighten this one and that one. Okay, and the second one tightened up now. Okay, you're all done with the driver's side. Now, let's go over to the passenger side and put that one in. Alright, again, on this side, right down here, again there's the one little screw here, flathead screwdriver. Loosen that up. And if you want to, just for kicks, go ahead and loosen this one up too, like I did the other side. And pretty much repeat the whole same process. Again, watch out for grit. And I have some grit right here. Let me wipe that up. Okay, now that your grit is cleaned up right here, remember, don't forget to pop your tabs in the back. Again, just use your thumb. Now what you want to do again is you want to lift up the back here. And as you're lifting up the back here, you want to slide with this hand right here. And again, there we go. That just pulls right off right there. Again, watch the opening of your engine. Make sure you don't drop grit into that opening of that hole right here where my finger is. Remove the housing. We're going to cover back up this hole right here with our clean rag so no grit gets inside there. Alright, and remove your old air filter. And let's take a look at this one. My gosh, that's nasty. That is just absolutely filthy. Look at that. Look at this thing. It's even falling apart on the edge right here. Horrible. Again, guys, replace these every year. And again, with your lightly damp rag, you want to go ahead and wipe up all the just all the grit, anything that's going to get trapped in there. And the reason I use a damp rag, a lightly damp rag, is because the dirt actually sticks to it. Instead of a dry rag, the dirt would not stick to it. So let's go ahead and clean the interior like I did the last one there, and then we'll vacuum. And again, the reason I like to do it myself and not only to save a lot of money, but I like to spend the extra kind of TLC that I'm not saying all places won't, but I just kind of really doubt that the dealership will kind of do this extra, vacuuming out, and it might not be necessary, but again, I just like to take the extra few minutes and just do it. So again, another reason I like to do it myself. Alrighty, now that we're wiped down again, go ahead and vacuum this side, just the big chunks that are out of there. Alright, and again, let's take our second one, because we bought two, and driver's side and passenger side. Alright, make sure it's nice and evenly flat in there. And now let's put back on our housing. Alright, and again, remove your clean rag away from the engine hole here. And what we're going to do again is we're going to slip this little tab and the tab right here on this side. We're going to slip that into those slots and then stick, just like on the other side, what we did on the other side. And here's a closer look at the little tabs I was talking about. It's a little piece that slips in between this little gap and this plastic here. And on this side here, this is the little hole. These are little tabs that slip right in there to make sure it's nice and securely tight on there. Alright, now with this on nice and secure, flush all the way around. This one, since we loosened it, make sure this is nice and tight, flush all the way around. Let's go ahead and seal up our latches again. Push down with your thumb, push in with your finger. Again, push down with your thumb, in with your finger. Latch that. And now let's tighten these screws here. There we go. Alrighty, and that's it. So we're all finished now. That was a pretty easy job. And so again, stay tuned for my up and other coming videos. We got some more good ones on the way. But that is how you replace your air filters on your engine for your E65 E66 BMW. And again, guys, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Got a lot more good videos on the way. Alright, take care. Bye-bye.